the movement that we're going to see over the next 10, 20, 30 years, crypto is going to be at the center of it because it is this flowing, moving entity that people can flow into and say, vote with their money.
Welcome back to another installment of the Next Gen Case Study Series. On today's episode, we have Derek Rodriguez, who is the CEO and founder of Gridlock, a company that he established in 2020 to provide secure cryptocurrency storage solutions. The background in exploring cryptocurrency since 2009, Derek developed Gridlock to address common issues in crypto asset management, such as security risks and loss prevention, which is why we're excited to have him on the show. Derek, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into this. I have yet to talk to somebody in the crypto space. I have dabbled myself and lost some significant amounts of money, at least for me at the time. And perhaps it could just be because I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm hoping you'll be able to shed some light on how things work and provide some insights for us and our audience. But before we jump into that, Derek, I'd love to get a quick little Coles Notes version of who you are, where you came from, and how you ended up becoming the founder of Gridlock.
Yeah, really, my story begins at the beginning of time, back in 2009 when crypto first came out. I love the tech, and I got involved. I started mining Bitcoin back in 2009. I was one of probably the first 100 people in the world to mine Bitcoin. Unfortunately, I was probably one of the first 100 people in the world that also lost Bitcoin. So that's been a while. The pain has subsided a little bit, but it's still been with me the whole time. And it's kind of the reason why I started this company, because that Bitcoin is worth something like $17 million today. And wow, I don't want other people to have that same problem. Like you mentioned, you have that problem too. And there's better ways. And so I started this company when I realized that there's a way that we can make crypto ownership easy, simple, safe. And that's what we've been building.
Yeah, that's the big question that kind of surrounds the whole idea of crypto is, how safe is it really? And is it all it's cracked up to be? And then you hear all these horror stories of people losing hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions in some cases. And so what was your approach to fixing that problem?
So the approach is simple in concept, right? Like we just remove the single point of failure, right? And that can be a number of things. It can be your computer, your laptop, that people have lost their computers and they lost them in a garbage dump, right? And they're still searching that dump to this day. You get fancy things like hardware wallets. You can still lose that. You have backup strategies called seed phrases. Those can get lost. Those can get stolen. You lose everything. You yourself, you're a single point of failure. You can make mistakes, phishing scams. You're tired, distracted. There's so many things that can go wrong. And the answer is simple. You remove a single point of failure. And so that's what we've done. So what we've done is we create this unique storage network that helps you store your crypto, a grid, if you will, that locks your assets. And that's what we've done. And it's very easy for you as a user to say, hey, I can just use this thing that does all the heavy lifting for me. This network is watching to make sure that my crypto is safe. It's constantly monitoring to make sure that I'm at 100% health. And if you're not, you can heal that network in 60 seconds.
Brilliant. A very simple solution to a very seemingly complex problem. Who is this for? I get that there's people who are pro crypto and people who are anti crypto, but there's such a broad spectrum of that audience. I'm curious to get from you, Derek. Who do you find to be your the people that you primarily serve?
So really, I like to see this as I think big and I dream big. And I want to say that we're bringing in the masses, right? The people that don't necessarily need to know what a private key is or a seed phrase. They are interested in this new technology. And that's the people we're helping because our product is so simple, it can help those people. And you ask consumers or businesses, I see blockchain as a very important tool that can help fix a lot of the problems in the world, right? Like blockchain is, in a sentence, is some decentralized protocol that can fix the problems with centralized meddling, centralized solutions that create this broken system that we're in. And to get there, to have that ability to fix those problems, we need decentralized storage. We need every single person to own the crypto themselves rather than using things like exchanges, where they're just rebranded banks. And banks are already too big to fill. Exchanges, they're not backed by the government, so they will fail, right? But they're also very big. And so we're trying to solve that problem. And that's what we're doing.
As we've seen actually very recently
Yes.
with who was this, Sam Altman or
Yes, FTX.
FTX,
Yeah.
right? And that's kind of the trouble of it is that there's not a I mean there's the lottery winner story, of these people who bought a garbage coin and turned into an overnight millionaire, but then there is far more horror stories on the other side of things. How do you navigate the messaging to the people that you're looking to serve when there's so much of a negative narrative going on around the industry?
It's a lot of negative narrative, right? And the worst part is when someone's already lost funds. I hate to be the person to say, hey, like we could have solved that problem for you. All you had to do was just use this product and this would not have existed, this problem that you had. That's not fun. But what is fun is the people out there that say, hey, look, yeah, maybe you do want to be a millionaire, a lottery winner, if you will. But other people are saying, like, this is interesting technology. It can make the world better in so many ways once we start kind of adopting this technology. And oh, by the way, we're here for you and we can make it extremely simple, right? I don't want to do the work. I started this because all of this hard, stressful work of dealing with the most advanced hardware wallets. And I'm thinking, if I can't do this, no one else can. Like, we're not going to have mass adoption. I've been around since 2009, right? And it's still annoying for me. And so that's the thing that I really value is the simplicity. And we're taking that work off of your back and just having this distributed network that does that for you.
So take me through the process of acquiring a client then. What does it look like for them to find you, engage with you, and then, strike up a deal? How does that all work?
So for the most of our acquisition to date has been pretty organic, right? We have over 80% organic traffic. We're obviously starting to test out various channels and kind of quantifying the value of those channels. But really, the best user acquisition that we have is simply the product itself, because the way it works with this distributed storage network, it's social security, right? Like, you create your own personal storage network and you pull in trusted contacts to help you do that. Right there's a built-in viral mechanism where you find the product, you check it out, you realize that there's benefits that you value, you build out your storage network, and next thing you know, you're pulling in more people into this economy. And it's great because it's people helping people, tribal security, and things like social recovery. They protect against some of the harder things to solve, which is like social engineering, phishing attacks. And so this technology itself is really great because it's solving that problem.
You're reminding me of there's I think it's a coin or a network or probably a little bit of both that I've participated in, and I'm not entirely active, but I'm aware of the Pi network, and I know that there are communities um, in parts of the world that are entirely dedicated to using Pi as their currency of exchange for those, villages and communities and things like that. And we're finding this pop up quite frequently where there are subsects of people, little groups of people who are kind of sick of the system and want something new. And when you talk about kind of this organic marketing process, it seems to me like if you have a remarkable product, something that's worth talking about, people are going to talk about it. And then you call it this tribal engineering, where you kind of get the whole tribe involved and individuals kind of creating communities around themselves. And that's really powerful. Does that pose a challenge in terms of how you are scaling up operations and kind of growing the business, or are you able to kind of manage that in a way that keeps your growth predictable?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. it is tough. Even with the great product we have, and really just the way that we've proven that, look, we have this built-in virality, we have these good things going for us. It is a very, very noisy space. And the reason is simple. It's a huge opportunity. You have exchanges and other entities just making millions and millions of dollars. And and so it's a noisy space, but we're going about it in a different way. I don't want to play this game of doing all of the shiny, flashy acquisition strategies that you see in the crypto space today. Right? I want to avoid the rainbow unicorns and laser apes. Right? I believe in this product. I believe that it can solve some really important things, and so we're going about it avoiding that. Right? And so how do we do that then? Right? So we shy away from standard marketing. We shy away from the things that others have found success, because I don't want to be associated with anything close to scams. Think about it this way. Any scam product, 99.9% of their funds is spent on marketing because they don't have anything to build around. Like, they're not building actual tech. Whereas we're far on the other side of the spectrum. Like, our tech is very advanced and it's challenging, right? And so we don't and can't compete with those existing, marketing strategies where, like, they're skilled at that. And if we try to compete in that way, right, then we're adopting the strategies that I see are wrong, and the people that I don't trust and don't want to trust.
Trust is a really big thing, especially when it comes to financing. Finance is anything to do with money, because money is one of the few resources we have that can directly correlate to how to the quality of life that we have. And so we're very protective of that. And you remind me of the supernova effect. If you burn bright and hot and catch everybody's attention, it's a very short-lived period of time before you burst into flames and everything is gone. But then it sounds to me like you really focused on a slow and steady approach of building that trust and continuing to maintain your credibility, delivering on a sound product. All of these things are really, really important to building the foundation of a business that's going to last much longer than that supernova flash in a pan type thing. I wonder how your early experience in this has kind of shaped that perspective.
Yeah, I've been around since the beginning. I've seen the scams come through. I've seen the interest. I've seen things work out. Solana is a popular blockchain. Phantom Wallet their success is almost entirely built on top of Solana, and they've developed a good product. Right, their UI is fantastic. Right, and it's partly because simply they found Solana and kind of rode that wave. And it's one of the few cases where their success turned around and created a good product. Right. And everything else out there that I'm seeing is often just people trying to get the money first and then saying, hey, we have this great idea. We're going to build something. And it never comes out. It almost never gets there.
It's like an alternative to crowdfunding, it seems like it's become.
Yeah, it has. And people have good ideas and good dreams. And where we're at now, I'm happy that we have this strong tech. I'm proud of our organic growth as our primary channel, simply because it means that we are doing and creating something in the system, in the ecosystem, that has value.
So, yeah, that's an interesting point. When it comes to, like, actually measuring your success, what sorts of metrics do you have or do you look for to indicate that you're doing a good job outside of, obviously, people talking about you and acquiring some clients? Can you kind of, like, break down what that looks like for you in terms of how you're pursuing the growth of the business?
I think the number one metric for probably every company in this industry is user acquisition.
Right.
A lot of it is due to the infantile nature of this industry, right? We want people, we know that products are going to be built on top of this, systems and products as the industry continues. And so everyone's looking to get that user base first. And so, yeah, we're measuring success by the number of users downloading the product, using the product, where we're looking to now take that and expand that, right? We want other companies and projects to build on top of our storage platform and share that the users. They'll bring their users to our growing user base. And we think that's great because our grand vision is very large. We want to be the single distributed scalable storage layer for all users, all blockchains. And we can do that. We have the technology to scale. We have the simplicity that any user can use it. And we have the security that we solve a lot of these broken problems that old Wallace old storage solutions have not yet solved.
Well, and if we factor in the fact that we're kind of competing with a monetary system that's existed for over 350 years, at least in our kind of traceable history of the centralized banking system, there's a lot of legacy there in terms of a functioning system that we've relied upon. And so, for something to only have existed for 20 years or less, we're definitely in the infantile part of that evolution. It is a baby when you compare it to a 350-year-old business.
Yes.
that has been the cornerstone of the foundation for the civilization that we have come to know today. And I know that even from my own speculation, I imagine, instead of us paying taxes, we all intentionally contribute to a centralized system that is responsible for maintaining our infrastructure and road systems. And, instead of a government, we rely on, a collective vote based on what people want to see inside of these communities. And so there is so much room for growth and so much room for improvement and, evolution, optimization of these tools and systems. I wonder, Derek, can you kind of project into the future and look at or explore? I mean, what kind of excites you about what's coming down the pipeline? Like, what's on the horizon of cryptocurrency that you that are excited to kind of see come to life?
Absolutely. I like the word used often with crypto and blockchain, and it's unstoppable because it really is. And so you see things like central bank digital currencies. Their governments are trying to say, hey, how do I get involved in crypto? But wait, I want to do it in a way where I still have control. And sorry, that's not possible. It is an unstoppable mechanism. But then even on top of that, you can't disregard this because in the world stage and a lot of the movement that we're going to see over the next 10, 20, 30 years, crypto is going to be at the center of it because it is this flowing, moving entity that people can flow into and say, vote with their money. And so that's what I really like. I like the idea of giving power to the people, whether that's from the earliest helping the people that don't have banks, like banking the unbanked is the term, bringing that world to people that don't have access to it, right? And that's one really good part of crypto I'm excited about. And then the other part is solving the other end of that spectrum. People that have money, but they're stuck in this broken system. And how can they vote with that money? How can they make their voice be heard? And there's blockchain is that solution. Crypto is just the financial system that's the layer that's going to help us build those new tech and new solutions.
I love the term vote with our money. That was supposed to be how the capitalist system that we live in North America was supposed to function. Was we were able to decide who to support by giving them our money. And the system has been broken because one really big company has bought up all the other little companies and now is pretending to be a bunch of little companies. And the people know that now, and we're sick of it, and we want something different, which is, I think, what lends to the willingness to participate in the giant experiment that is cryptocurrency as it currently is. Mm-hmm. As it continues to evolve, what how do you see Gridlock fitting into that? What's in store for Gridlock as a company?
So I see Gridlock as the missing piece that solves this, right? Because you can create these decentralized voting mechanisms, but if your storage layer, your money that you vote with is centralized, well, then there's the problem, right? You can either lose it with FTX or whatever other existing exchange that's out today, that can get shut down by the government, that can get bought out by those few large remaining companies. I just read the other day, if you're using ancestry.com, well, that just got bought out. And all of that valuable data is now in the hands of BlackRock. And what's to say that if you're using centralized companies, centralized exchanges, that's not going to happen again? And so that's where Gridlock comes in, because we help you do what you know needs to be done. We're doing it. We're provably doing it through technology where there's no meddling people. We can't mess with our own tech. And that's what's so great about it.
Yeah, that's really powerful to be part of the necessary function of keeping things safe and keeping things functioning. It's kind of cementing in Gridlock as one of the, I guess, pioneers of cryptocurrency and creating the opportunity for others to kind of join the space safely and continue to help it evolve effectively and efficiently. So that's very exciting. Derek, you've been very generous with your time. We're kind of coming to the end of our time together here. And so to kind of wrap things up here, if you had a piece of advice for people who are kind of exploring this area or looking to create new businesses in the space, what would that piece of advice be?
People exploring the area, creating new businesses in the space. It's new, right? It's new and it's scary. And, I would just say move slow, right? Because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and, you're not going to become a millionaire overnight. We all want to, but just tell yourself it's not going to happen. But definitely get involved, because your chances are a lot better on this side of the fence than not being involved.
Sound advice. How does that go? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yes. Exactly.
Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky.
Yes.
Derek, thank you so much for joining me here. If somebody wanted to reach out to you to pick your brain further or perhaps work with you, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah. So you go to our website, you can join our Discord where our community is. We're chatting. I'm there. So you can message me there. You can simply email me, derek@gridlock.network. I'm happy to hear any thoughts or questions or anything.
Beautiful. Make sure to link to all that stuff in the show notes for anybody that's listening and watching. If you want to get in touch with me and my team for any reason, you can visit nextgengrowth.com. Otherwise, that's it for this episode, and I will see you in the next.